Justice for Dan Jacobson. He has won World Player of the Year and World Golden Ball. I am now happy. I can rest in peace. Oh, thank you. I don't understand though. He's won it at the age of 36. I swear on this game you have to be ancient to win this. You have to be past your best to win World Player of the Year on Football Manager. I mean, he didn't win it in his prime, but he's winning it now that he's pushing a Zimmer frame around the pitch. It's pretty ridiculous, really. Welcome to part 5 then of this Nordic Football Manager 2016 experiment, where we're trying to see if the Nordic nations can dominate world football, and so far they have. Let's be honest, they've been sensational. Iceland and Finland in particular have been amazing, but this is my favourite moment. Dan Jacobson of the Faroe Islands has managed to win a Golden Ball and a World Player of the Year award for Faroe Islands. The AC Milan legend has been an unbelievable player on this save. I can't quite believe him, really. Still going at the age of 38. Retired from international football ages ago, so he's not really helping out Faroe Islands anymore. Technically and mentally, he is still insane. Unfortunately, a lot of his physicals have gone down, as you would expect. For a 38-year-old, his pace has gone down to 7 and his acceleration has gone down to 6. But looking at him, still 125 current ability, could still do a decent job. That potential he managed to get to 197, remember. So he must have won World Player of the Year. He won it a couple years ago. It just doesn't make any sense the way Football Manager gives out these World Player of the Year awards. Players win it regularly when they're 36 years old, when they're past their peak. It doesn't really make any sense to me. He won it in this season, 2076-77 season. He did score a lot of goals, to be fair. Or was it the previous season? Anyhow, he was scoring so many goals all the way up until a couple seasons ago. Still managed to get 13 goals in 17 starts and 7 sub-appearances last season. And this season so far, remember it's January 2079, look, if you look here, he's actually got 4 goals in 3 starts and 1 sub-appearance. He really is a goal machine, even now at the age of 38. Faroe Islands, for those interested, are 87th in the world at the moment, and their best player only has 139 current ability. We're going to have to boost them, aren't we, for the last part of this experiment. Today I'm holidaying all the way to 2090, so it is the penultimate part of this experiment. Thank you for all the support on the experiment so far. Please hit the like button if you're still enjoying it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. That'd be much appreciated. So let's start with Euro 2076. Which was won by Russia against Turkey in the final. It did take place in Sweden though, so we had a Nordic connection there, but bit of a shame not to see a Nordic nation win it again. Let's go to the group stages then to see how the Nordic countries got on. Sweden did top their group, so Russia, the winners, only just qualified with 2 points. They shouldn't be allowed to qualify with 2 points, so they qualified as one of the 3rd best placed teams. And they only got 2 points. That is just ridiculous. Anyway, Denmark won their group. Iceland also won their group. Norway and Finland qualified from Group D. Is that everyone? Faroe Islands didn't qualify, of course. Second round. Denmark beat France on penalties. Norway beat Czech Republic on penalties. Sweden beat Finland 3-2. Ooh, interesting clash. And that's it. Russia. Where were they? Eventual winners. They beat Iceland 1-0. Quarter-final. Norway knocked out by Spain. Denmark knocked out by Turkey on penalties. And Sweden knocked out by Holland. So no one got past the quarter-final this time round. Russia got better throughout the tournament, didn't they? Moving on to the 2078 World Cup then. This is a bit of a shock. Ukraine won in the World Cup, beating Iceland in the final. It's the second time Iceland have been runners-up. They've won it 3 times. They've finished runners-up twice now, and twice in a row. Really unfortunate for Iceland. They're still going strong, aren't they? They're still an exceptional team on this experiment, and possibly the most successful team on the experiment. Will they be the most successful team? By the end of the experiment, we shall find out, I guess, by the end of next video. So, the World Cup group stage. Sweden qualified from their group. Iceland qualified in top spot. Norway qualified in second place from theirs. Oh, no Sweden. Is that right? No Sweden or no Denmark. Is that the first time Denmark haven't qualified? That's a surprise. It's been a pretty poor Well, yeah, very poor World Cup for the Nordic nations. Sweden going out in the second round. Iceland winning 5-0 against Saudi Arabia to go through to the quarterfinals. Norway going out on penalties to Spain. So the only team remaining is Iceland, who beat Mexico on penalties in the quarterfinal. Semi-final stage to beat Spain 3-2. That is a cracking game. And then in the final, they lost 1-0, so close. So unlucky for Iceland. Let's just have a quick look at them then. Their best player, 31-year-old centre-back, plays for Bayern Munich. 185 current ability. Really, really solid. Commanding centre-back. Moved to Bayern Munich from... Oh, look, he's played in Iceland, he's played in Sweden, and then moved to Norway for 10.25 million. It shows how much money the likes of Viking have in Norway. 3.5-star reputation team. And then moved to 18 million to Bayern Munich. So there was no Finland in this World Cup either. That's the first time they haven't done very well for a long time. So I've holidayed through to August 2082, and it does look like that the Nordic nations are starting to just decline a little. Second final in a row that a Nordic nation hasn't featured in the Euros. France beat Spain in the final. Let's just have a look at the group stage then. Iceland won their group though. They're still doing really well. Norway topped their group. Denmark second. Sweden went through in third place. And Finland also qualifying in top spot, winning all their games. So at this point, doing very well. It goes wrong after this point by the looks of it. Denmark managed to beat Holland to get through to the quarterfinals. But Iceland and Sweden went out. Norway also went out to Germany. And Finland went out to Spain. So Denmark, the only country left standing here. And they went out to England in the quarterfinals. Not sure what's gone wrong here. Wow, this is interesting. Paraguay won the 2082 World Cup final against Finland. So they're back again in another final. Oh, we've been really unlucky, haven't we, the Nordic nations? They're certainly, I would say they're dominating world football because they're doing really well. We've had Iceland win 3 World Cups, Finland win 2. Finland have now got to another 2 World Cup finals in the last 4 and finished second. Iceland have finished second. So the last 4 times a Nordic nation has been finished runners-up. Iceland also finished third this time round. So it's just the finest margins that have prevented Finland and Iceland from winning multiple World Cups and becoming one of the most successful nations ever. Iceland already are one of the most successful nations ever if you look down. I guess only Brazil have won more. And Italy and Germany as well, I guess. Group stages then. Denmark qualified. Norway qualified from their group with 9 points. Iceland and Finland were in the same group. They both went through with 7 points. But no Sweden this time round. They didn't qualify for the World Cup. In the second round then, Denmark defeated by Norway 2-1. And Iceland went through 2-1 against Senegal. And Finland beat Mexico 3-2. Quarter-final stage, we saw Norway beat Norway get defeated by the current holders of the World Cup 2-1. Finland went through an extra time against Brazil, really good win for them, and Iceland beat Japan 1-0. So in the semi-final, Iceland lost against eventual winners, Paraguay 1-0, and Finland destroyed the current holders at the time, Ukraine 3-0. And then in the third place playoff, Iceland managed to beat Ukraine 1-0. And in the final, so close again, it's just a 1-0 win, and Finland playing a very quirky formation, quite similar to one I'm using with West Ham. It just wasn't quite good enough, was it? So it's now the year 2086, and this is Euro 2084, which was won by England. Spain once again runners-up. But we haven't seen a Nordic winner in the past 3 European Championships. Are we going to see any winners in this part? They've been close, but not close enough in terms of World Cups anyway. Iceland managed to win their group. All 3 games they managed to win, in fact. Sweden and Norway qualified from Group B. Finland qualified at top of Group C. And Denmark qualified from Group F. Then in the second round, we saw Sweden get defeated by Croatia. Iceland beat Turkey. Finland destroyed Germany 4-2. Really good win that. And Denmark lose against Norway on penalties. It's a mixed bag of results there for the Nordic countries. Then in the quarter-final, Finland lost against England 2-0, eventual winners, and Norway managed to beat Iceland 2-0. So at least we saw Norway get to the semi-final, where they went out on penalties against eventual winners. So Norway really unlucky there. We haven't looked at the world rankings yet in this video, but they're seventh in the world. Denmark 2nd, Finland 3rd, Norway 7th. It's very close. Denmark going up 5 places to 2nd. Is that a clue for the World Cup winners? We'll have a look in a second. I hope so. I really hope so. I don't know. I haven't looked. So it's going to be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. Yes, Denmark have won the World Cup. They've won the 2086 World Cup. I am so happy for them, if I'm honest. Because Denmark have been the nearly men all the time. They've struggled to get past second round, quarter-final, semi-final stages. They've won the International League once. But they've finally managed to win a World Cup. And it's broken their monopoly of Nordic nations. Only Finland and Iceland have won the World Cup so far. We've got 3 on the board. We just need Sweden, Norway and Faroe Islands to do it now. And we can get all 6. But time is running out. There's very few World Cups left to go. In fact, there's only going to be 4 more in this experiment. 2090, then we've got 94, 98, and I'm going to go up to 2102. That will be the last final. Finland also finished 3rd in this, so a really good World Cup for the Nordic nations. Every single World Cup so far today, we've seen a Nordic nation finish in the top 3, which is great. So how did Denmark manage it? Let's have a look. They won their group with 9 points, plus 11 goal difference as well, destroyed everyone. Finland also qualified from their group in 2nd place, and Norway topped their group. They were the only 3 Nordic nations to get through, though, by the looks of it. Can't see Sweden. Wait, Denmark, Finland, and Norway. Where's Iceland? There's no Iceland. And no Faroe Islands, of course. Iceland have done so well up to this point. Anyway, 2nd round stage. Denmark destroyed USA 4-0. Really good win. Finland beat Argentina on penalties. And Norway went out against Brazil. That's always going to be a tough match. Quarter-final stage. Denmark beat England 2-1. Really good. And Finland beat Holland 2-0. And then in the semi-finals, Denmark beat Finland in a Nordic battle. Rene Parup with the 2 goals, plays for Atletico Madrid. 35 goals in 39 games for Denmark. Looks a very good player. We'll have a look at the Danish team in a second. In the 3rd place playoff, Finland beat Spain 3-1. Really good win for them to claim another top 3 spot in the World Cup. But Denmark beat Russia on penalties. It's good to see one of the Nordic nations winning on penalties to win the World Cup with a 4-4-2. Denmark hadn't got past the quarter-final stage of the World Cup before this, I don't think. So really well done to them. Finland have now won it twice, been runners-up twice, 3rd place twice, and 4th place twice. If my calculations are correct, I might be a bit wrong. I will, as I always say, I'll double-check at the end of the whole experiment to make sure the figures are correct on the spreadsheet. So let's have a look at this Danish side, who are now 2nd in the world. They've got an Icelandic manager in charge, an Icelandic player that never actually played for the Icelandic national team as well. Interesting, as it often is the case. Some of the best managers in the world aren't actually the best players previously. Let's have a look at the team then. So the best player, 186 current ability, is Parup, who scored the 2 goals in semi-final stage. Bodka is the 2nd best. He's an attacking midfielder or a striker, probably more a striker. Plays for Arsenal, 35 goals in 40 games for Denmark. But they've got a very good team, but there's no megastar like Iceland have produced, or Denmark have produced in the past with all their world golden ball winners. The guy with the most caps is a player that can play right back or left back, Lars Sommer, another AC Milan player. And the top goal scorer in the team actually is Bodka with 35 and Parup with 35. So well done. At last, another Nordic nation has won the World Cup. So I've actually holidayed to part way through the 2090 World Cup. When you get to this point in the game, and I've got a few leagues loaded and I've obviously holidayed many years, even my powerful computer is starting to slow down, and it's taken a long time for it to holiday, and it just sort of conked out at this point when I was holidaying overnight. And it's actually the semi-final stage of the 2090 World Cup, and we've got 3 Nordic nations in there. Brazil versus Norway, Finland versus Denmark. So 2 nations that have already won it. Finland have won it twice. Denmark are trying to hold on to their world title, and Norway have never won it before, but they've got the tricky task of beating Brazil in the semi-finals. I think I'll show the final. I'll show you. We haven't actually seen a live game yet, but yeah, why not? We're going to at least have 1 Nordic nation in there. I'm going to click continue to see who will be in the final. Actually, let's just have a look first of all at the group stages. We'll get this out the way first so you can see how they got there. Finland won their group. Iceland finished 2nd in their group. Norway topped their group with 9 points, and Denmark went through with only 4 points. Then 2nd round, we saw Finland beat Japan 3-0. Iceland, destroyed by Norway 5-0. What a win for Norway. They kind of deserve this, don't they? England won 6-0 and Russia won 6-1. Lots of goals. Denmark beat Germany 2-1. Quarter-final stage, Finland beat Belgium 3-1. Denmark beat Holland 2-0. And Norway went through on penalties against England. And then now it's the semi-final. Let's see what happens. Norway have gone through on penalties against Brazil. Norway are in the World Cup final. I'm so happy for them. Well done, Norway. Is this their first World Cup final? No, they were runners-up, weren't they? So they've got a chance to try and make amends. So we're definitely going to witness an all-Nordic final here. But who's going to be the other finalist? It's Finland. They've defeated the current holders Denmark 3-1. And Finland have the chance to win their third World Cup. Now remember, they've won 2 World Cups, but they've also finished runners-up twice. They don't want to lose more finals than they've won. They're definitely going to be keen to beat Norway, but we sort of want Norway to win this. I'm sure lots of I think probably out of the Nordic nations, in fact I know this is a fact, Norwegians have watched my videos more than any of the other Nordic nations if I look at my YouTube analytics. So thank you to you Norwegians over the years that have supported me. And it would be nice to see you beat Finland, I guess, because Finland have already won twice. But I'm sure there's lots of people out there that will be supporting Finland in this final. Before we get on with this, though, I think we'll end it with the World Cup final, this part 5. We're going to have a look at everything else first, get that out the way. So who won the Euros? It was, in fact, Finland. They beat Holland in the final, so Finland have won their 2nd European Championship, and they are the most successful team, Nordic nation, in the European Championships. They've won it twice, Sweden have won it once, and Iceland have won it once. So let's just have a quick look to see how they got through to that final. Iceland knocked out in the group stage. Finland went through top of their group with 9 points. Norway also qualified, as did Denmark and Sweden. Second round, Sweden defeated by Finland on penalties. Denmark went through against Germany, and Norway beat France on penalties. Then in the quarter-final stage, we saw Norway lose against Finland 1-0. Can Norway avenge Finland for this defeat? We'll find out. Denmark went out against Spain. Then in the semi-final stage, Finland beat Russia 1-0. And then in the final, they won 5-0 against Holland. This guy with a hat-trick, Nieminen, striker or attacking midfielder, plays for Schalke, 58 goals in 73 games for Finland, sensational player. Wow, 5-0 in the final, it's an absolute thrashing. So well done to Finland for that. So let's have a look at the European International League then. So the last one we saw would have been 2074/75, I think. So since then, we've seen Denmark finish runners-up and Finland finish runners-up, but Norway have won it another 2 times. They are ridiculously good in this. Denmark have also managed to win it another time, and Finland have been runners-up a couple of times. But Norway are just so good at this. That is their set. They've won it 7 times. Wow, they are the kings of the European International League. And can they now be kings of the world? Confederations Cup then. So we've had 4 since the last update, and Finland beat Denmark in the final of 2089 Confederations Cup. And Finland have also managed to finish 3rd as well. Finland are the only country to win the Confederations Cup, and they've won it 3 times. So that's pretty greedy. It's very tight. Who is the most successful nation? Finland or Iceland? I think if Finland win this World Cup final against Norway, they are the most successful Nordic nation in this experiment. I think they do deserve to overtake Iceland if they can win their 3rd World Cup. Just having a look at the Euro Cup then, see if any of the Nordic nations have featured. Don't think they have once again. We've only had a Norwegian team win the Euro Cup. And the Champions League, or Champions Cup as it's called on Football Manager, there's no one there either, is there? Schalke have done very well actually, looking at it. Right then, World Golden Ball. I will count these up behind the scenes. We've obviously seen Dan Jacobsen win it. I wonder if what's happened to him. He is now a manager at TPS in the Finnish Premier League. Interesting. 49 now on this. Retired in 2080 in the end. So it's 10 years since his retirement. What a player he was. I love him. Player of the series in my eyes. Some of you may think of someone else maybe being the player of the series, but what a player. So we've seen Iceland win it once again in 2078. Sweden, Finland, I'm just looking at the winners, you can have a look at the other second and third place by pausing the video if you like. Third, Norway won it again, then Finland, then Denmark, then Norway, Norway and Norway. So Norway have won the last 3. It's probably a similar story of the World Golden Ball if we go down. I've got to say that Iceland and Sweden won the first 2. Don't think... How far did we see Gunnarsson win it last time? I can't remember. Oh, it's so good to see Faroe Islands winning it though. But there's a mixture of different Nordic nations that have won it in this video, which is good to see. In fact, they all have. I think they've all managed to have a winner, which is amazing. Wow, that is some achievement. So in the third place playoff of the World Cup, unfortunately, Brazil defeated Denmark 3-1. But at least they got to the semi-final stage again, so they won the last World Cup and they finished 4th in this one. That's a good couple of World Cups for Denmark, considering their previous places in the World Cup. Denmark have done really well actually. They've produced in total the highest number of best players in the world. They've produced 13 or 14 World Golden Ball winners, double that of the other nations really. So they've done really, really well. So it's time for the World Cup final between Norway and Finland. This is very, very exciting. Who's going to come out on top? I'll personally be rooting for Norway if I'm honest, because they haven't won it yet. Finland are the favourites though. Let's have a look at the nations, at both teams, to see who has the best chance, who's got the best players. Current ability wise, in the Norway team, oh, there's a 198 guy, Mohus. Joint best player we've seen so far. We saw Gudjon Svensson for Iceland reach 198 current ability. 89 goals in 63 games for Norway. Plays for Spurs and has been there for many, many years since leaving Rosenborg for 9 million. That's a bargain now. And he's won the International League with Norway. He's won the World Golden Ball in 2019. He's won the last 3 World Golden Balls. So it's nice to see a player that's got the highest current ability in the world actually managing to win World Golden Ball and World Player of the Year as well. I think he's won the last 3. However, Finland have the last 3. They finished second place. So they've got this guy in their team, Kilokowski, who has 129 caps. He's 33. I assume he's still in the squad. 180 current ability. And last time round, Ailto, he's also a bit old, so he might not be in the team. We'll have a look in a second. 34 years old. So perhaps Finland have the experience to win this final. But Norway have the best player in the world. They've also got a guy with 188 current ability, earning 275k a week at Real Madrid. Moved there for 54 million from Schalke. And caps wise, they've got a guy with 100 caps exactly. And goal wise, it is Mohus, as you would expect. 89 goals in 63 games. But they've got some other players that can score goals in the team, I'm sure. Finland then. Can they win their 3rd World Cup in a row? They're currently 1st in the world rankings, above 2nd place Norway. Denmark are 4th, after finishing 4th in the World Cup. Iceland down in 11th. Sweden down in 17th. Where are poor old Faroe Islands? I don't know. Let's go down. Down. Where are you? Faroe Islands, my friends. They're in 104th at the moment. We need to boost them. We need to boost them for part 6, the last part of this experiment. Let's look at the national team for Finland. Current ability, their best player is a goalkeeper. Once again, they've produced some good goalkeepers. In fact, Nurmi, wasn't that the name of their first really good goalkeeper we came across? I might be wrong. Perhaps he's like the great-grandson of him or something. It might be a different spelling. Anyway, he's a very good player. Actually plays in Finland, though, for a 4-star reputation team. A rich team worth £525 million. Wow, we'll have a look at the leagues in the next part, and the last part of this experiment, to see where they finish, basically, all these clubs, in terms of coefficients and how good the league systems are, and that sort of thing. We won't look at that in this part. We're concentrating on this exciting World Cup final, but he is the best player for Finland, current ability-wise. Second best, though, 187, is Anderson, who plays for Bayern Munich, and he is an attacking midfielder. Doesn't score many goals by the looks of it. Where are the goals going to be coming from? Let's have a look. goal-wise. They don't have... Oh, there's hardly any goals in the team. Perhaps they're all about defence being solid. Their top scorer is this guy, 25 goals. Perhaps a lot of their older strikers have now retired, moved on. And they're relying on other guys now. Because, I mean, look at the strikers here. A lot of them hardly have any caps and hardly any goals. So perhaps some of their recent strikers have recently moved on and retired from football. Or retired from international duty. Cap-wise is Kaliakowski, 33 years old. This is the guy that we saw finish second in the most recent World Golden Ball Award. So they've got lots of good players in there. Lots of players playing for FC Lahti, who are doing very well in Finland at the moment. I'm excited, but I'm nervous for Norway. I should be neutral here, but I just can't help it. I'll tell you a bit of a secret. Although I think I've revealed this before in the past. I really want to visit Iceland and Norway in the future. Probably the top 2 countries I really want to visit in the future, actually. Beautiful, beautiful countries. I'd like to visit all the Nordic nations, if I'm honest. I've always been a big fan of them. Politics as well, style of living, you know, it's the best in the world, quality of life and that sort of thing. Some of you that live there may think otherwise. But what we're taught in English schools is that, you know, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, they've all got the best. They're all the happiest people in the world. You've got the best quality of life and all this sort of thing. Whether that's actually true, I don't know. But that's what you hear anyway. So far it's been a boring final though. We want goals. Finland are probably holding Norway out. I'm actually going to take these away because they're getting in the way, I think. Finland on the attack. Are they going to take the lead in this World Cup final? If they can win this, they are odds-on favourites. They go into the lead. They are odds-on favourites to be the most successful team in this experiment. They've had a lot less possession. You've got to feel sorry for Norway. Can they break Finland down? Let's find out. They're on the ball here, on the attack. Johnson. Into Rise. What are they going to do? Parkinson. Great name. Rise. Here's Mohus, the best player in the world, giving the ball away, but they're still on the attack. Can they get a goal back here? Yes, they can straight away. It's Yturdal. Don't know how to pronounce that. Or Yturdal, maybe. They are back in the game. So we saw Rantanen open the scoring for Finland, and then Yturdal equalise. This game has sparked into life. Here's Mohus through to Yturdal. Oh, he should have scored. Mohus does. The best player in the world scores in the World Cup final. 3 yellow cards for Finland, 1 for Norway. As we go into this half time, Norway have been the much better team. 12 shots for Finland's 4. And it's the second half now. Can Finland get back into this? Norway have certainly been the better team. And here they are, Bo into Mohus. The best player in the world finds Yturdal, who smashes it, and oh, how's that not get in? But fantastic goalkeeping from one, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. Finland have an amazing goalkeeper, but he can't stop that one. I think it's the left back, Orjan Bo, with the goal. 3-1 to Norway. This is a good final now. Just stormed in, and I think it's come off his thigh and gone in the back of the net. Nurmi couldn't keep that one out. He's let in 3 today. Won't be happy with that. Can Finland get back into it here with Rantanen, who's already scored in this game? Blocked off, and good defending by Norway. Throw in from Parkinson into Leon Yturdal. Rise. Mohus. Can he get a second goal? It's a good save by Nurmi. That is a clash and a half. Best player in the world coming up against one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. And it's over the bar from the corner there. Are we going to see a 4th Nordic nation win the World Cup? We've only not seen... If Norway win this, it will only be Sweden and Faroe Islands that haven't won it. And we've seen Sweden win the European Championship, so it'll only be Faroe Islands that haven't won anything. Okay, a throw-in. 12 minutes to go. Rise. Oh, interesting defending. Here go Finland. Are they going to ruin Norway's party? Brilliant tackle. Sensational tackle. Rise. He's had a good job in central midfield. Anderson into Tegan on a yellow card. What's he going to do? Into Mohus up front by himself. Takes it past everyone. Tackled. Here's Johnson. Mohus, great save by Nurmi again in goal. And here's Bo, one of the goal scorers, hitting it out of play randomly. It must be an injury, surely. Yes, on comes a medical man. Mohus is down. Oh, that's why. Mohus is in trouble. 2 minutes to hang on. Here's Anderson for Finland. Into Traff. Kolowski or Kokowski or whatever his name was. Kolowski. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Second best player in the world was tackled there. And Norway just need to hold on to the ball now for the last 2 minutes of injury time. Finland on the ball. Surely they're just going to fire everything into the box now. But they're still passing it around. This is their philosophy, obviously, by the looks of it. I think Norway deserve this, though. They've deserved to win this World Cup as Finland almost get a second goal. This is it. Surely the ref's going to blow their whistle. There we go. Norway are world champions. Really well deserved. And I'm pleased for them. We've got a fourth Nordic nation that have managed to win the World Cup. Man of the match was Iturdo. He's a central midfielder, plays for Dortmund. 18 caps for Norway. 178 current ability. He is the hero of the day, really. Got them back into the game. And assisted another goal as well. So we will end part 5 here by looking at the experiment spreadsheet once again. Finland have now lost more World Cup finals than they've won. The opposite of Iceland, who've managed to win 3 finals and lose 2. Norway have now won 1 final and lost 1. Sweden have lost a final. They need to... can they win a World Cup? We've got 3 more World Cups to go until the end of the experiment. Can Sweden win it? And can Faroe Islands win it with a bit of a helping hand? We'll find out in part 6. So European Championships, generally most teams have failed to get past the second round far too many times, as you can see here. But it's good to see 3 different winners. Sweden have won it once, Finland have won it twice, and Iceland have won it once as well. Iceland perhaps only just about clinging on to being the most successful team. It's very tight though. I mean, they've won the most World Cups, but Finland have won the most European Championships. Then on the other hand, Norway have completely dominated the European International League, and that added on to the fact they now have won a World Cup. You could argue they're up there as well. Probably not quite as high up the rankings as Finland and Iceland, because they've only won 1 World Cup, but it is very tight. In Confederations Cup, remember, Finland have won it 3 times and no other nation has won it. So you might say Finland is slightly ahead of Iceland. It really is very tight. Norway's still the only nation to produce a club that has won the Europa League. And I think I've counted up the World Golden Balls and World Player of the Years correctly. It may have been wrong in the last couple of videos, but I've gone through and tallied it up. And it's pretty much the same across the board, apart from Denmark have won 1 more World Player of the Year compared to their World Golden Ball. But they are dominating that, as you can see. Norway and Finland are definitely doing very well at the moment as well. Well, particularly Norway. They've won the last 3 thanks to Mohus. But Iceland have done well, and Dan Jacobson managed to win 1 of each. Thank you so much, Football Manager, for letting him win World Golden Ball and World Player of the Year. Anyway, thank you for watching this part 5. It was a cracking final. It was just something a bit different. It was nice to watch an actual game in this experiment. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you're looking forward to part 6. I need to holiday for a bit, so I'm not sure when part 6 will be out, but it will be out at some point in the not too distant future. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon.